As sakarsi saklaji sakarji latis no atulam nazo najis chiza igwen dish tentula shmot taknila takbeatisa. Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. So we're going to continue today looking at the Valley Zapotec pronunciations. As so far we've looked at different types of vowels, right? I presented you guys in my last talk. We did the types of vowels that we have in the Zapotec Valley, right? So we have 4 different types of vowels. If you guys remember, we have the plain, the breathy, the checked, and the creaky. The plain or modal vowels, and then we talked about the tones. We talked about Zapotec being a tonal language, and it really makes a difference how you guys pronounce particular vowel, so that if you change it a little bit, you might be saying something different. So that's why it's really important to come back to the pronunciation guide. So before we move to the lesson 4 or lección tab, I would like to go over this chart of vowel patterns. And then if you remember, these are the vowels. So the P, remember, it's a plain, and then the C represents a check, B breathy, and the K represents a creaky vowel. And remember that the creaky vowel is the only vowel that it doesn't stand alone. It usually comes with a check or breathy or any other combination, but unlike the other ones, it doesn't stand by itself. As if you guys don't remember, please go back to lesson 3, looking at the creaky vowel. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go over this chart, and then, so as you guys can see, this is the pattern, the first column, and then the words, the meaning, pronunciation, remember? So we have on the 4th column, we have the pronunciation guide, and then we have the tone. That we haven't been talking a lot about the tone, as you can see here. So if it is plain, plain, you have high tone, and if it is checked, you have a high tone. And then we have the breathy. Remember, that's more like a whispering sound, so it is a low tone. And you have to breath it. It's even, I mean, it's really breathy, but it's still low tone. And then the creaky and then the plain vowels, it's also low tone. So, and then as you guys can see here, the check and the breathy, it's a falling tone right here. All of these words, which I'm going to say in a minute, so you can actually hear what I'm talking about. And then we have the check and the plain, and then we have a rising tone here. So I'm going to say those in the words in Zapotec, and hopefully you guys can join me in saying them, because as I said, the only way to learn a language, right? It doesn't really matter what the language might be. It's by trying to emulate, trying to say exactly as the speaker says. It is more important in terms of learning Zapotec, since, as I said, that the tone is really important. So you just try the best you can do to emulate what I'm saying. So here we go. The first one, which is wava, and I think you've heard this word several times. So just pay attention. So here we go. So it is we. One more time. We. There. Rik. Rik. The next word is they, and in Zapotec is ji. Ji. Air. Bi. Bi. And I hope you could hear the differences in the length of the breathy vowels. So I'll come back again and say them one more time. Okay. So if you wanna just follow along, or I'm gonna say them again. So whenever you're ready, just join me in saying the words. So hits, argin, argin, nose, ji, ji. Sickness, galgish, galgish. language or word. Dish, dish, child. Mni'in, ni'in. Next, verzi, verzi. Up, ya, ya. City person. Gish, gish. Bedbug. Change, change. Mother, non, non. So as you guys hear me saying this word, just I hope that you can hear the different tones, the way in which either it's it's high or low tone, or it's falling and it's rising. And we talked about these tones earlier. So I'm gonna say them one more time, and then I hope that you guys could say them after me. So I'll have a small pause there, and then we'll jump to our lesson 4. Okay, so again here, I'm going to say them twice, and I'm going to make a pause, and so you guys can hopefully say the words yourselves. Okay, so first one, we, Rick, Rick, J, J, B, B, Regin, Regin, J, J, Gagish, Gagish, Dish, Dish, Mnin, Mnin, Garzi, Garzi, Ya, Ya, Yish, Yish, Chinch, Chinch. Last one, Non, Non. Okay, so I hope that you guys are practicing. So now we're gonna start the lección tab, or lesson 4, which is on page 39. So here we go. So we're gonna be talking about more vowel patterns. So you guys can see here, there's a new vowel pattern with falling tone, which is plain, and a breathy pattern. It includes a plain vowel followed by the breathy vowels, as in the words like the following, which is fire or flame. Bah, bah. And just remember that also, as you can see on the pronunciation guide, that the L is long, it's pretty long, well, longer than usual, right? So you can see 2 L's there. So it means the length that I hold the L. So maybe you guys, I hope that you can hear that. So one more time. Bah, bah. The next one is false. Ria, ria. And this is a word that a lot of young people use today, but I mean, it's part of Zapotec. It's a borrowed word from Spanish, right? So 100, cien, cien. Next one, with and con, con. Okay, so these are following tones. So it starts high tone, and then the tone goes down, right? Because remember that plain vowels tend to be high, but then we have the breathy vowels after the plain vowels. So it's we have this kind of falling tones. Okay, so I'll say them one more time. Please pay attention the way in which the tone falls. So bai, dia, cien, quan. All right, so let's continue. So we have a check and a breathy sequence here. All right, so let's see. Petate, da, da. So we have creaky vowels, a check, and a breathy vowel. So as you guys can see right here, right? So then we have our creaky vowels, a check vowels, and a breathy vowel. So I hope you can hear all the vowel patterns that we find here. So I'm gonna say it one more time. And remember that our spelling is just like a simplified spelling, but the pronunciation is it's in the pronunciation guide on the last column. So here we go again. Da. Next, drank. We. Handle of a pottery. Shti. Shti. Sells. Shto. Shto. Puts into something. Rgu. Rgu. Market, or other, also known as tianguis. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that you guys can hear the creaky, the check, and the breathy at the end. Pay attention to that. So the next word is Oaxaca. Dua. Dua. And then we have another pattern right here, which is the plain, checked, and breathy. Okay. So earlier today, ba. Ba. And then cold, like when you have a cold, the illness. Ji. Ji. Okay, we continue. That's creaky, checked, and plain vowels here. So I hope that you can hear them. So I'll say them twice. So calls, reish, reish. Okay, and then we have the next word, which they're spelled the same, right? But and then they're pronounced different. So measures like reish, reish. So remember, guys, that in Zapotec, we always write the two R's at the beginning of the word, which means the you pronounce as a 2R pronunciation, like in Spanish, like the R's. So one more time, I hope that you can hear the difference between these two words. So the first one, calls, is reish, reish. And then measures, reish, reish. So as you can see here, we have a creek, RR creek, and then E check, plain I, right, on the vowel. So here we have a plain E, check E, and breathy I. So, okay. Next is the plain and check pattern. So as we have here. And remember that whenever you see the colon, right, that's the X that we talked about, which we'll get into in a little bit. I think it's in this lesson that we'll talk about the fortis and the lenis consonants. So in the meantime, just pay attention. So that, remember that you're gonna hear a little bit like a whistling with the X sound. So bashrat, bashrat. Okay. Right. So again, this is borrowed from Spanish. Derech, derech, stingy, bis, bis. All right, some other vowel patterns here that we have. Okay, so as you can see here, which again, we're gonna get, don't worry about it right now, but we are saying that there is a we subject here that's performing the action, and the id to that, and it's the we, which we call a bound pronoun, which we'll also talk about later. But now I just want you guys to pay attention to the combination of the vowels, the vowel pattern. So please, that's, pay attention to those patterns. So hopefully you can distinguish them, and also you can say them. Okay, so here we go. Rienian, rienian. So the ending is breathy, rienian, right? So we have an I, a plain I, E checked on the first ones, the first two vowels, and then we have the breathy at the end. So that's a different pattern. And then, so as I said, we're just right now we're just going going over the different patterns. So hopefully that you guys can identify them, and then by emulating them, you'll be able to say the words that sometimes if you say it differently has other meanings. So that's why the importance of going over and over some of these vowel patterns. And soon we'll get through this, and then we'll get into other stuff. So let me just do these two last one, and then we'll stop here, and then we'll come to 1.4.1.2 in the next lesson. So let me just say these two words twice, and then I'll let you guys practice, and then in the next lesson we'll start with 4.1, 4.2. Okay, so this is a creaky, plain, and check vowel pattern. So so here we go. Yes, I hope that you guys can hear the creaky, the way in which this word begins creaky and then ends with a glottal stop. So here we go. And then morning, seal. Again, that double consonant. I hope that your ears begin to recognize that. Okay, so one more time, and then we'll stop here. Yes, morning, see. All right, guys, keep practicing, and then I will come back to the next section, and then we'll have more vowel patterns that we need to go over. Okay.